The payments industry moves fast. The economics behind it move even faster. Welcome to On the Wire, a show about the economics of payments, the institutions moving money, and the infrastructure underneath it all. This episode is produced by payware using AI voice synthesis, built from primary research, technical documentation, and real market data. No studio, no hosts, just the content, clearly presented. Let's get into it.
You know, there's this illusion of choice you experience every single day right at the checkout counter.
Oh, totally.
Right, you look at the terminal and you see Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover. It feels like this great variety, but honestly, it's just the exact same 16-digit plastic commodity with a different sticker on it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the mechanics behind all of them are identical, which means they carry the exact same baggage, for the business you're actually buying from.
Right. So our mission today is to dive into this fascinating strategy document we got our hands on. It outlines how account-to-account or A2A payments are completely crushing traditional card dominance.
Oh, absolutely. And they're doing it by offering like 7 entirely different context-driven ways to pay.
Okay, let's unpack this, because before we get to those 7 methods, we really need to clarify what A2A actually is, right?
Yeah, so think of the traditional card network as a toll booth on a highway. Every time you swipe, the transaction gets routed through that toll booth, taking time and, costing the merchant money.
And A2A just bypasses that entirely.
Exactly. A2A simply builds a private bridge. The money moves directly from your checking account to the merchant's bank account. There's no middleman, no plastic card required.
Which makes total sense.
Right.
And from the merchant's perspective, skipping that toll booth is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, processing traditional cards costs them, about 1.5 to 2.5% in fees?
Yeah, around there. Plus, it takes days for the cash to actually settle, meaning to physically show up in their accounts.
Right. So because all the banks are selling the exact same plastic toll booth experience, they end up in this vicious, penny-pinching rate war.
Which leads to a massive 10 to 15% annual churn rate. I mean, merchants jump ship the second another bank offers them a fraction of a percent cheaper rate.
Totally.
But what's fascinating here is how A2A infrastructure, specifically platforms like payware, completely flips the script.
By not fighting over tiny rate drops.
Exactly. Instead of fighting over a tiny 0.1% drop, A2A drops the baseline fee to around 0.5% with instant settlement. The money is just there.
Wow. But, the real magic in this strategy document isn't just the lower cost. It's those 7 distinct payment initiation methods.
Right, and they aren't throwing all 7 at you at the grocery store.
No, exactly. They are perfectly matching the payment tool to the physical environment.
Yeah.
Now, we won't list all 7, but we really have to look at the 2 wildest ones.
Yeah.
BLE, which is Bluetooth Low Energy, and audio.
Oh, the audio one is wild. Soundbite.
Yeah, wait, paying with sound. I mean, if you have your phone in your pocket, are you going to accidentally buy a coffee just by walking past a speaker?
No. A lot of people worry about that, but the mechanics are built entirely around keeping you in control. Let's take Soundbite, the audio method.
Okay.
First off, we aren't talking about some hidden subsonic frequency.
Oh, so it's not like a dog whistle.
Right, exactly. It's normal, human-hearable audio. You just have to give the listener enough time to act. Imagine a radio commercial or even a reality show playing in the background with a product placement.
Okay, so the merchant registers that specific audio clip.
Yes. When that audio broadcasts, it acts as a product identifier. But, and this is key, it only initiates a purchase if you, the buyer, actively open your payment app and tap the listen and pay button.
Ah, so you have to physically push a button.
Right. Your phone's microphone hears the clip, matches it to the product on the screen, and you buy it right there.
That is wild. I mean, for the merchant, that turns a passive audio ad into a direct, measurable sales channel, right?
Oh, the real-time ROI and efficiency insights are massive. It's a total game changer for ad tracking.
Okay, but what about Bluetooth? Is that the same active process?
Similar philosophy, yeah, but a totally different mechanism. With BLE, managing the physical distance between the payee and the payer is instrumental for a correct UX.
Meaning they have to configure the range perfectly?
Exactly. Success relies on incredibly precise configuration of the Bluetooth range.
So it's not just a free-for-all when you walk in.
Right. And while a drive-through might automatically detect your presence, it's never hands-free. Every single transaction requires your explicit confirmation on your screen to keep you in control.
Okay, so you're still driving the interaction. Solving friction in the physical world is clever, but let's connect this to the broader bottom line.
Yeah, let's do it.
The document highlights some staggering stats for banks offering this. We're talking a 3.2 times higher merchant acquisition rate and a 3 times bump in merchant lifetime value.
Which is huge.
Right. But is this massive jump really just because of the lower 0.5% fee? How does that translate when we move into the digital space like software subscriptions?
Well, that's where method diversity really shines. Let's look at e-commerce and SaaS, software as a service.
Sure.
These digital businesses suffer from a massive 15 to 30% involuntary churn rate.
Right, because physical plastic cards expire, or they get lost, or the bank just randomly blocks a recurring charge.
Exactly. The customer didn't want to cancel. The piece of plastic just timed out.
Which is so frustrating for everyone.
And a massive revenue leak. But direct A2A bank connections don't expire. A checking account doesn't have an expiration date printed on the front of it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes total sense.
So by offering digital A2A methods alongside those physical Bluetooth and audio methods, banks are solving highly specific pain points.
Instead of just selling a commodity transaction.
Right. And because of that tailored approach, these A2A-enabled banks slash their own merchant churn from 15% down to just 4 to 6%.
They completely step out of the rate war. Offering multiple context-driven A2A methods transforms payment processors from easily replaceable commodity vendors into, vital partners.
Exactly. They stop competing on price and start competing on utility. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it proves the future of transactions isn't about making the old plastic network slightly cheaper.
No, it's about bypassing it entirely.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean for you? If direct bank-to-bank A2A payments become the standard, bypassing the card networks entirely.
Which they are.
Yeah. What happens to that massive ecosystem of credit card points, miles, and cashback rewards that rely entirely on those inflated 2.5% swipe fees? The end of the plastic card might just mean the end of the free flight. Something to think about next time you gunk out.
That's On the Wire, produced by payware, the transaction resolution network for instant A2A payments. This episode was AI generated from payware's published research and documentation. If something sparked a question, the full source material is available at payware.eu. If you work in payments at a bank, an ISV, or a merchant organization, and what you heard is relevant to what you're building, reach out. The conversation doesn't have to stop here. Subscribe to On the Wire wherever you listen to podcasts. The next episode is already waiting.